In the beginning, there was nothing. No earth, no sky, no stars, just a silent, empty void. But then, God spoke. From the depths of eternity, the Father began creation. His presence filled the void with purpose. The Spirit moved across the waters, hovering like a breath of life, preparing the earth to receive His command. And then, from the very throne of heaven, the Word, John 1:1-4:14, the active agent, spoke creation into existence. "Let there be light." Instantly, light burst forth. Darkness scattered as day and night were set in motion. Creation had begun. Day by day, God shaped the earth, His voice forming everything with care and purpose. On the second day, He separated the waters, forming the vast sky, stretching above the earth like a protective dome. On the third day, land appeared. Valleys and mountains rose, rivers flowed, plants grew, and trees filled the world with color and life. On the fourth day, the sun blazed bright in the sky to rule the day, and the moon and stars lit up the night, set in perfect order. On the fifth day, the seas came alive. Fish swam deep, birds soared high, filling creation with movement and song. On the sixth day, God brought forth animals, large and small, fast and slow, each one carefully designed, with a role to play. Then He made His most special creation, humanity, and God said, "Let us make mankind in our image." This was more than a simple act of creation. This was a divine declaration, spoken with love and intent. So, from the dust, God formed a man, Adam. But he was different. He bore the image of his Creator, possessing reason, creativity, and love and care over the earth. Yet, something was missing. He was alone. So, God crafted a companion, a woman from Adam's rib, Eve. She was his equal, his partner. Together, they shared a perfect home, in a garden that God planted in the east, a paradise called Eden. Here, in this perfect place, God Himself walked with them. He gave them everything they needed: fruit to eat, rivers to drink from, animals to live alongside. Yet, in the middle of the garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam and Eve one rule: they could eat from any tree, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It was not a restriction, but a choice, a test of trust and love. True love requires freedom, and in His wisdom, God gave them the ability to choose, to trust Him, or to go their own way. On the seventh day, God rested, not because He was tired, but because His work was finished. This day was special, set apart as holy. In Hebrew, it is called Shabbat, the Sabbath, a sacred time to pause, to rest, to remember God's goodness. From the very beginning, God blessed this day, a day meant for worship, reflection, and connection with Him. But something was lurking nearby, watching, waiting. A creature, unlike any other, a serpent with shimmering scales, mesmerizing eyes, and wings that carried it smoothly through the air. It seemed harmless, even magical. But behind its beauty lay deception. Through the serpent, Satan spoke. His voice was smooth, comforting, yet dangerous. "Did God really say you must not eat from this tree?" the serpent whispered. "He knows that if you do, you will be like Him, knowing good and evil. He's holding something back from you." Eve hesitated. The fruit looked good. It seemed right. And in that moment, doubt crept into her heart. But the serpent introduced another deception: the idea that she would not die, that disobedience would not bring separation. What she did not realize was that eating the fruit would cut her off from the tree of life, the very source of human immortality. Without it, death would become a reality. Then, Eve turned to Adam. Adam wasn't deceived. He knew the truth. He knew what God had said. But now, the thought of life without Eve was unbearable. And tragically, he loved her more than he loved God. So, he reached out, took the fruit, and ate. In that instant, everything changed. As the weight of sin settled upon them, 3 relationships were shattered. First, their relationship with God. Adam and Eve, once unafraid in His presence, now hid in fear. Second, their relationship with each other. Blame replaced love. Adam pointed to Eve. "She gave me the fruit." Then he pointed to God. "The woman you gave me, she led me to this." Third, their relationship with nature. Where once the earth freely provided, now survival would require toil. The ground would yield food, only through sweat and struggle. Sin had marred creation. Paradise was lost. Adam and Eve had to leave the garden, but this was not simply punishment. It was mercy. Had they remained, they might have eaten from the tree of life again. If sin continued without end, suffering would be eternal. So, God closed the way, ensuring that one day, sin would end, and death, the result of sin, would not last forever. Yet, even in their sadness, God showed them mercy. Instead of flimsy leaves, God clothed them with the skin of a lamb. It was a glimpse of something far greater, a foreshadowing of redemption, a sacrifice given to cover their sin. One day, another lamb would come, the Lamb of God, to take away the sin of the world. John 1:29. Though Eden's gates were closed, God's plan was just beginning. Even then, He had a way, a promise that one day, redemption would come, a way back to Him and restored relationships. This was the beginning, the story of creation and the fall, a story of love, choice, and grace, a story that still echoes through time.